Hello everybody, my name is Khaled Siddiqui, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to change the touch screen on all newer Garmins that have all glass front faceplate. The examples of which are Garmin Nuvi 2699, Garmin Drive, Garmin Smart Drive, Garmin Smart Drive with Alexa. All of these newer Garmin GPS units that have full glass front panel. This is how you change the touchscreen. Now, normally they sell the screen attached together with a digitizer or touchscreen, all as like one piece. But to do that, it's a lot more expensive, because if you buy the screen with the touchscreen, you're looking at $40–50. But if you just buy the touchscreen, you can get away by spending $15–20, and you will just change the touchscreen. You don't have to change the background, the screen itself. Okay, so now the touchscreen, as you might have already seen in my previous videos that I made a specific video about how touchscreens work and all that. It's three different layers. It's a touchscreen, it's the actual screen, and then the backlight. So in this case, the actual screen is good, as you can see. Let me turn this on. As you can see, the actual screen works and everything. Let me brighten the screen here a little bit so you can see. There. What happened? Oh, the battery's dead. Okay, so as you can see, the screen is good. You see the Garmin, but right here, there's a big crack. So I just need to change the touch screen, which is the front glass. So here is how we do it. Regardless if the unit is working or not working, the touchscreen, when it's cracked, it needs to be replaced. Even though right now the touchscreen is working perfectly, as you can see, still there's a crack, and this will gradually get bigger, and it's dangerous. It can cut your finger because it's sharp glass. So it has to be replaced. Okay, so let's replace this and leave the same screen, just replace the touch screen. Okay, turn it off. Always turn it off. The first thing you want to do is you want to open the 4 screws. For that, you need to take a star-shaped screwdriver, and let me see. You need T5. Yeah, you need T5 star-shaped screwdriver. So let's turn this puppy. T5 screwdriver. Let me get a little bin to put these in it. Okay, so I got all 4 screws out. Now that's why I have my nasty long nails, because you need these nails to take it apart. This part is the hardest. Yeah, this part is the hardest. From this point on, it's all like, smooth sailing. You need not long nails, so leave your nails for 4 or 5 days before you do this project. Now, this is all open, so don't just, take it apart like that, because there's a very, very fine cable, and if you do that, you're going to break the cable. So do it very nicely and gradually. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. There. See that fine cable there? You have to do it very nicely and gradually. So you flip that up. You see that little thing? Now I need to zoom in. Hold on. I'm going to zoom in and show you what I mean. Okay, you see this right here? It has to flip this way. Watch. like that. Now the screen is released. This part is good. Nothing wrong with this part. We only dealing with the screen part, changing the glass. Okay. Now this is the part that I need to zoom out to show you, because this is composed of the plastic frame, the touch screen, and the LCD screen, and I need to separate the plastic frame and then and all that. So first thing I need to do is separate the plastic frame from the LCD screen. Okay, for that I need to heat it up. Remember, you need to heat it up. You need a heat gun, but you have to do it gradually and slowly. You warm it up. When you're warming it up, be careful not to warm up one corner too much, because the screen will crack. Because of the change in temperature, the screen will crack. So you have to do it nice and easy, with like evenly spread heat. Nice and easy. Okay, now it's pretty hot to the touch. I think I should be fine. Let's see. On the corners there is glue. You need to cut those glues. Every corner has a glue, so you need to cut those glues. You definitely need to have a knife. See that glue? You have to remove it. Okay, that corner is done. This corner. See, there's a lot of screw. I mean a lot of glue. A lot of glue. Not just a little bit glue. Okay. We have more glue here. And a little bit more glue here. Okay. And now we can separate the plastic frame from the touch screen. Okay. You have to be very careful. If you damage the touchscreen now, it's okay, because the touchscreen is going to be replaced. But make sure that you don't break the frame, because the frame is what you need. Okay, so the frame is separated from the actual screen, but here's the problem. We are not out of the woods yet. Separation of the frame from this is not the end of the tunnel. What we have to do now is separate the screen from touchscreen, because all we are replacing is the touchscreen. This guy. This is the new touchscreen which I just bought. We are replacing the touchscreen, and look, all the screen mechanism is on the back, which we need to remove. Okay, for that, first thing you need to do is you need to separate the touchscreen from the actual LCD. Okay, so to do that, let's zoom in again. This is zoom in part which you need to zoom in. So see this little tape you have to remove. Like that, you remove that. Heat up this and separate this. First, make sure that your new screen matches this. Yeah, it looks good. It matches, so you should be good. First, heat up the two little edges, and then you heat up the center, and there you go. These two edges are holding it together. Now see, I created solder bridges. For that, you need soldering paste, or you could use rosin. This is rosin actually. There you go. Nice and neat, nice and clean, no bridges in between. Okay. Now what we do is we separate the screen from the touch screen. Touch screen is broken and defective, screen is still good. We don't want to damage the screen. Okay, so let's zoom out again. To separate this from that, we need to use the same little knife and pry between the actual back screen and the frame. Okay, watch. Again, if you damage the touchscreen, it's okay because you're going to replace it, but do not damage the screen. The screen is your valuable asset here. Okay. This is the actual screen, and this is the touch screen. You are still not out of the wood, because now we need to get this frame out. This frame is what we need. Okay. Before that, I'm going to make sure this is aligned correctly, and there aren't any particles in between. Okay. This is the actual screen with the backlight. This is the touch screen. So I'm going to set the actual screen aside and deal with this, because I need this metal frame which is glued into the old broken touch screen. I need to get this metal frame and put it in the new screen. Okay, it's a pretty time consuming project. Again, I need to heat it up. I'm using the heat gun. Heat it evenly, otherwise if you don't heat it evenly, you will have cracks running on the screen, because it will be uneven heat. One side of the glass is hot, one side is cold, and then you will have cracks. Okay, now I'm gonna start the separation procedure. This is my heat gun. See how my knife went inside? See that? This is the part I have to be very careful, because that glass is already broken. It will Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put a tape here. Because the last thing I want is those little fragments of the glass to be on my desk. So I'll put a tape there. If the entire glass is shattered, put tapes all over it. Packing tape, so the pieces of glass is not spread on your desk. Okay, very good. We turn it off. And now, this is the broken touchscreen, or I should say glass, which we have to throw away. We don't need this. Okay, now this is the new touchscreen, which comes without a frame. We need to put this frame on it. Okay, so let's make sure there are no particles, glass, or anything here. Put this down, put this frame right in the center, make sure it's aligned. Make sure it's all aligned. Apply pressure here. Okay. Now we put the. Now this already comes. Look from the front. Make sure no metal shows here. Metal frame does not show here. Okay. If it does, you're off. The new screen has gluey, sticky material on it, but if it doesn't, you can use double-sided clear tape. You have to glue it somehow, because it's all glue. All right. So now we put back the actual screen on top of that. Make sure no particles are here, because if the particles are trapped in there, you can't remove it once we close the screen. So I'm not going to put this face down, because this will come out and it will be misaligned. So I'm going to put this way. I'm going to put this on top of that this way. There. It snaps right in place. It doesn't hurt to put a few, drops of like fine glue like they used, like original Garmin used. It looks like silicone glue. It doesn't look like a heat glue or heat gun glue. It looks like silicone glue. Okay. Now we have to solder this. This is the touch screen. This is the new touch screen wire, and we have to solder it to the screen right here, like that. We have to solder it. For that, I'm going to zoom in because that's critical. You need to make sure you don't create solder bridges. When you solder it, this is like a big heat sink. It reduces your heat. So what I usually do is I put a business card on the back to work as an insulator, so that I can solder it without any problem. I'm going to put a tape to hold this in place so I can have ease. I can work easily, basically. It's a little misaligned. Hold on a second. It's a little misaligned. There you go. This has to be straight aligned. It was a little crooked. All right. So now let's solder this puppy. This is probably the critical part. It's not difficult, but it's the critical part. It's a little off. I need to push it that way a little bit. There you go. Okay. Excuse my nails, but I had to have nails like that. This is like a mechanic's nail. You cannot expect it to be all shiny and, you know, manicured and what have you. All right. Okay, I believe I did a decent job there soldering them all together. And now I need a tape. And this tape is too big. I need to cut it. There you go. This I'm gonna remove. And now what do I need? I need the frame. We need to zoom out now. So we have to put this back in the plastic frame. The plastic frame still has the glue. You could put still a fresh strip of double-sided tape if you think the existing glue is not reliable. That's up to you. Make sure it's all like flush. Flush means it's not sticking up. It's all at the same level. Let me remove these little pieces of older glue. Okay. I have a lot of like fragments of the older glue, which is preventing me from closing it tight. Let me remove these with little needles. Oh my god, these older glues, I'm telling you. Okay, it's fair enough, nice enough, good enough. And now, before I put it back together, I'm gonna test it, make sure it works and everything. I don't want to waste all my time for nothing. Okay, so when you put this in, you have to close the flap this way. This is a little critical. There you go. That white line has to line up parallel with this and then close that flap. Okay, now the microphone must match the hole here. This is the microphone for, you know, the Bluetooth telephone answering and all that, or, you know, sound voice command and all that. Okay, so let's plug it in before I snap it close, because if there is any problem, I need to address that issue before it's all put back together. So let me see. I think the cable isn't connected correctly. So I'm gonna clean up this because I believe sticky stuff was stuck on the pins, causing it not to make a good connection. And voila, we are good to go. You just snap it back in place. like that. And you will put all the screws. Actually, turn it on before you put the screws, because if you have issues, you don't need to take it out. Working good. Yeah. So I'm gonna put on the screws. It's running off of the battery right now. Remember to use T5. T5 second screw. And the third screw. Okay, looks like we are in business. That's it. We're in business. All right. So this is how you replace just the touchscreen, not the entire screen. If you were to replace the entire screen, you would need to buy this whole thing. This is the screen attached with the touchscreen. If you were just needing to change the touchscreen, you buy this. So this is nearly 4 times more expensive than just buying the touchscreen. But there is a catch. Let me tell you what the catch is. Each screen, even on the same exact model Garmin, has a different part number right there. You have to read that part number. Sometimes the part number is also written here. You have to read that part number and order the touchscreen that matches with that part number, because they have 2 different types of touchscreens and they are not interchangeable. In the same model Garmin, there are 2 different types of screens and touchscreens. All right. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe.